These are the solutions to the gears problems. Question 1, part A, describe what gears do. Well, essentially they transfer power through a machine, one way or another, whether that's you pedaling on your bike or a gearbox in a car or whatever. Part B, modern cars can have 6 gears or more. Explain why this is necessary. Begin with describing low and high gears. Well, you use a low gear first to apply a large force to get the car moving. Whereas high gear allows a high speed at the wheel with a lower speed at the engine. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Explain what will happen in the following scenarios involving different arrangements of gears in terms of speed and turning effect. The first gear has 40 teeth, the second gear has 10. So hopefully from the work you did on the gears lesson, you'll see the second gear will travel faster, but the force that it will apply will be less. So increase speed and decrease the force. And then if we had 20 teeth and then 40 teeth, well, you'd do the opposite, wouldn't you? You'd increase the force and decrease the speed. Then 2 gears mesh together with the same number of teeth. Well, there's going to be no change to the force or the speed. But what you will do is to change the direction. So those were 2 fairly straightforward questions to get you started. Questions 3 and 4 are rather more involved. A system of 4 gears shown above. Calculate the gear ratios between A and B, B and C, C and D. When the first gear given is the input gear, what is the gear ratio between A and D? So, A and B, output over input, 12 over 20. B and C, 5 over 12. 12 over 20, well, we could make that 6 over 10, 3 over 5, couldn't we? Or 0.6. BC, what have we got? We have 5 over 12, can't simplify that anymore. Let's put a comma in there so we can see that we're talking about different things. And CD, well, there's 20 over 5, which is 4. Okay. And then we want the ratio AD. Well, you've got 12 over 20 times 5 over 12 times 20 over 5. And if you do that, you get 1. So actually, B and C are a waste of time. You don't need them. And if you think about it from an energy conservation point of view, the energy being delivered to A and the energy being delivered to B to D have to be the same. So, in a perfect world, of course. So, given that they are the same size, they have to be doing the same thing. so the ratio has to be 1. And of course the speed of D and the speed of A are the same. So that's question 3. Question 4 then. Gears can be stacked and fixed together. The above configuration is used to slow down fast motors and increase the turning effect. If the small and large gears have 12 or 36 teeth, so the outside of B has 36 and the inside has 12 in this case. This is 12, this is 36. 36, 12, 36, 12. The red gear turns once every 9 seconds. What are the speeds of the gears A, B, D, and E? So, C turns once every 9 seconds. Let's go back this way and work this out. So, if that turns once every 9 seconds, so does that, of course, then this being a third of the size, having a third of the number of teeth, is going to turn 3 times faster. So B is turning once every 3 seconds. And since A has a third of the teeth, it's going to turn 3 times faster than that. So A will turn once every second compared to C's turning once every 9 seconds. So let's now, having gone that way and worked out the speeds of B and the speed of B and the speed of A, let's go this way and work out D and E. So C turns once every 9 seconds, so obviously this one in here also turns once every 9 seconds. Which means that D rotates 3 times slower than this. So that's going to be once every 27 seconds. So this goes round once every 27 seconds. And this being 3 times bigger than this, 3 times as many teeth, this will rotate 3 times slower. So 3 27s, 81. So it's not very difficult, but you do have to take it step by step. And you'll have noticed that I didn't use any of the formulae in there to do that. So there you go.